ambiance.
Hey, Google, turn on Pandora.
And yes, on that note, please turn on any music that you like. Thank you for that, Marty. I appreciate it. I hadn't muted you yet. Here we go. Now everybody's muted. Okay.
Am I muted?
Turn on Pandora.
You're all muted now. All right. So yes, please, if there's some specific music that you enjoy, nobody else is going to hear it but you. So please go ahead and turn that music on. My name is Jen, and I will be guiding our Pilates practice this morning. And on behalf of Heat Yoga, I welcome each of you. Thank you for being here with us to practice. This isn't ideal. Of course, we'd all love to be in the same space, but I think I speak for all of us at Heat and most of you online here that we're very grateful to have this as an alternative. So in Pilates, we'll focus on building some length and strength in the body, a little bit of muscle endurance, both through movement and through isometric holds. As always, if something doesn't feel right in your body, if you feel any pinching or pain, that's your body telling you that you need to back off and either choose an alternative or perhaps come out of the movement a little bit. Otherwise, I will invite you to join me and maybe get a little uncomfortable, build a little heat in the body this morning as we start to flow. And we will begin our practice on our back. So please make your way down to your back. And we'll just spend a few moments on our back with the breath, kind of coming into our space. So as you come down to your back, I'll invite you to close the eyes. And find a space where you feel like everything in the body is soft. Sometimes opening the palms to the sky, allowing the shoulders to soften down. Maybe the toes will fall heavy toward the outer corners of the mat. And just releasing any tension that you're holding in the hip bones, in the thighs. And as we come to this stillness, noticing the way the breath is moving through the body. As we come to this physical stillness, noticing what thoughts are still bouncing around in your mind. Knowing that our minds are designed to multitask, our minds are designed to think and do multiple things at one time. So not necessarily fighting that natural tendency of the mind for the next hour, but perhaps just thinking of it as guiding your attention and your energy toward the movement and the breath, and releasing any thoughts that are in your mind of things that you will be doing after your practice. Just allowing yourself the grace of time to breathe, move, fuel your body here. So placing a hand on the belly and the other hand below the lower back. Start to notice how the shape of the spine changes with the breath. As we inhale and the belly rises, feel the lower back lift and arch. And as we exhale, start to think about imprinting that spine in the earth, envisioning each vertebra one at a time, pressing down, pressing the lower part of the spine into that hand underneath the back. Inhale, belly rises. Feel that curve come into the lower spine, heart lifts, rib cage opens. And exhale, start to press the vertebrae into the earth one at a time. Really pulling the belly button toward the core here, starting to find that energy as we exhale and press the spine into the earth. One more big inhale, imagining space between each vertebra. And at the top of the inhale, that breath shooting and extending through the top of the head, lengthening the neck. Exhale, pressing the spine into the earth here. As we come to the bottom of that exhale, let's walk the feet up the mat about hip distance apart and take that hand from underneath the back, just taking the hands to the sides of the body here. Now intentionally pressing that lower spine into the earth. As we press and imprint the lower spine, You'll notice the hip bones rotate up toward the rib cage. So feel that lift pressing through the bottoms of the feet. Now take an inhale here. Release the lower spine, allow that curve to come back in. And exhale, press. On the next inhale, as the spine curves, fingertips reach up overhead, stretching and lengthening through the side of the body. On the exhale, palms press down toward the earth, spine comes into that imprinted position. Floating with your breath, inhale. Exhale, imagine pushing those palms through mud, create the own tension, your own tension. One more time, inhale. This time as we exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, lift the shoulders, reach through the fingertips toward the heels or the ankles here. Tucking the chin to the chest, gaze at the thighs, hold. Lower ribcage squeezes in, hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower the spine back to the earth. Inhale up and overhead. Again, exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, reach forward. Hold here. Lift the right leg up into tabletop, followed by the left. So knees stacked above the hips in this tabletop position. Point flex the feet, still reaching the fingertips ahead. Squeezing and contracting the core. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release down. From here, fingertips are going to reach up toward the sky. So hands stacked right above the shoulders. Notice what happens with the lower spine as the weight of the knees come above the hips, really pressing and digging that lower spine into the earth here. So we typically do supine or spinal balance on our knees. We're going to practice here on our back first, noticing in particular the shape of the spine. So as you really dig that lower spine into the earth, feel that connection, we'll start to flow here. Reaching the left heel in front of the body, reaching through the heel, toes pulling toward the face, hold. Now extending the right fingertips up overhead. So we just got a static hold here. Take a couple of breaths. Notice if that space starts to come between the lower spine and the earth, and intentionally imprint the spine and dig in. As you imprint the spine, you might feel that extended leg lift up just a little bit. That's perfect. Hold here. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Right heel reaches. Long line of energy through that right heel, toes pulling toward the face. Now left fingertips reach up and overhead. Imprint the lower spine. That extended leg might lift just a little bit. Everything connected on the back side of the body. Super long spine. Inhale. Exhale, everything comes to center. We'll flow with the breath here. Inhale, left heel, right fingertips. Exhale, flow back to center. Inhale, right fingertips, left finger, or left. I'm losing it already, people. Left heel, right fingertips. Use that inhale to lengthen the body. Exhale always pulls back to center. So keep flowing with your breath. I'd like for us to really be conscious of the pace of our own breath. And if I'm guiding you a little quicker or slower than what your breath pattern is today, stay with your breath pattern, your practice. Consider my breath pattern and pace a suggestion. So on these last couple, again, really noticing that shape of the spine, imprinting all the way down, really squeezing. And then we'll pause, coming back to center here. Bringing the hands, both of the hands to the top of that left thigh. We'll extend, actually let's curl up first. Tuck the chin to the chest, lift the shoulders. And now let's just press the hands. We're pressing into that left thigh like we're trying to push it away. And at the same time, that left thigh is pushing into the hands. Activating the core here. Extending that right leg long, reach through the heel. Option to leave the leg right here in tabletop. So as you extend the leg, continue pressing. Point the extended toe. We'll lower and lift as we continue to press. 7, 6, 5, 4, tucking the chin to the chest. 3, 2, and 1. Pull the knee back in, extend and reach through the heel, kick. Pull in and kick. Breathing for 4. Keep pressing the hands into that thigh. Create that work in the body. 2 and 1. Slowly lower down. Hug the knees to the chest. 1 inhale here. Coming right to the other side of the body. Knees stack above the hips and tabletop. Both hands come to that right thigh. Tuck the chin to the chest. Lift the shoulders. Start to press the hands into that thigh. Create that work. Then maybe extending that left heel long. Point the toe. Lower and lift the left leg. Continuing to press. The more we press into that thigh, the more work in the core. Really warming the body here. 2 and 1. Left knee comes back in. Press through the heel, extend. And press. So now those toes are pulled toward the face. Always an option to release the head to the earth to give the neck a little break. Keep pressing for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees to the chest here. Swaying side to side or embracing any movement that wants to happen in the body. Yeah. And bringing those legs back up into tabletop to stack. This time we'll bring the hands, the fingertips to the base of the skull, interlace. And as you rest the head back down on the earth, connect the outer edges of the elbows to the earth. Press the lower spine in. Feel all of that connection, stability. And we'll cross the left ankle over the right. Extend the knees out, so kind of making this diamond shape with the legs. And right away, feel that connection as the top of the left ankle or the bottom of the left ankle presses into the top of the right, activating the legs here. Inhale. Exhale, we'll squeeze and lift and release. Each exhale, the core contracts as we lift. Each time we lift, that top ankle pressing down into the bottom leg. Just lift for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay lifted here. Rotate, squeeze left elbow toward the outside of the left knee and back to center and squeeze. Maybe bringing the knees a little closer to the face. We're going to add that reverse crunch. So as we come to the side, lift the hips and lift. So 2 things going on at the same time. We've got this reverse crunch working into that space between the hip bones and the belly button, and then also squeezing the left side of the body. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Keep that hip lift, so reverse crunch. This time as we come up, allow the elbows to come in. They come wide as we come down. Elbows squeeze in and come toward the knees as we lift in that reverse crunch. Hold right here. 6, 5, 4. Really squeeze the elbows and lift. 2, and 1. Go right to the other side. Right elbow toward the outside of the right knee. Find that work in the side body first. When you're ready, add that reverse crunch, hips lift. Yes. So 2 pieces of action going on at the same time. Focus the energy for 3, 2, and 1. Release everything down. Keep those fingertips at the base of the skull. Extend the legs long, crisscross. So reaching through the toes. We'll lower. 3, 2, 1. Reach through the toes, lift. 3, 2, 1. One more time. Hold here at the bottom. Cross the ankles. Right over left. Press the lower spine into the earth. Slowly come all the way back up to center. And then bend the knees, coming back into that diamond shape. Now that right ankle is on top of the left. Pressing the bottom side of that right ankle into the top of the left. Find that energy in the legs. Coming back to that simple lift. Crunch and lift. Elbows stay wide at first. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As we come to the side body, right elbow will squeeze first. Let's add that lift right away. So that combination of reverse crunch and that side squeeze on the right side of the body. Lift for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center Elbows hug in as we come into that reverse crunch. So wide as we come down, squeeze to the biceps. Last squeeze and lift for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release down, left elbow, left knee. Bring that reverse crunch in right away. 5, squeeze and lift. 3, 2, and 1. Release the bottoms of the feet down to the earth, unwind the ankles. Let's drop the feet wide on the mat, right to the edges, and bring the arms out to the side of the body. Just windshield wiper the knees side to side. Hopefully feeling a little bit of heat in the belly. Warming up here. And then as we come back to center, let's flip the palms toward the earth. So rotating the shoulders away from the body, internally rotating. And then we'll bring the legs back up into tabletop. Just a little more work here through the lateral abdominals as we warm. So we'll come side to side. Both shoulders stay planted. Let's roll over that right hip first. So knees squeeze together, rolling over that right hip. We're gonna hold and pause. So as we balance on that right hip, left side body works to stabilize. Find some stillness. Both shoulders connected, soft through the chest. We'll connect at the ankle bones and connect at the balls of the feet. We're gonna open and close the legs. So this clamshell movement, right leg stays stable, left leg opens and closes. For 4, 3, find that stillness in the hips. 2, and 1. Extend those legs long or option to keep them bent. Slow controlled movement, bringing the legs back to center. So squeezing the left side body, slowly, slowly, slowly roll back to center. And then roll through the middle of the spine, over the tailbone, right away, rolling over that left hip. Connected through the shoulders. Pause here. Now bending the legs. Take a moment, balancing on that left hip. Now right side body doing the work. Squeeze here. And then again, the left leg will stay stable. We'll connect at the heels and the balls of the feet and just start to open and close. So clamshell, that right leg is gonna open and close this time. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend the legs. Slowly sweep back to center. Hug everything into the chest. Hug and lift the shoulders, really squeeze into that little ball. Take an inhale. Exhale, squeeze. On your next inhale, extend the arms and the legs. Make that X shape with the body, reaching to the corners of the room. And exhale, tuck and squeeze. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. Exhale. Lower back stays imprinted the whole time. 2 more. Reach and open. And hug into that ball. We'll rock and roll up to the top of the mat, curving through the spine. Just take a little break. We'll bring the left leg in front of the right. That left shin bone will be parallel to the top of your mat. Take a big inhale, sweep up. And on the exhale, left hand comes down to the earth, big reach over. Feel that stretch from the right hip bone all the way to the fingertips, lengthening. And then rotate, right fingertips come down, left fingertips reach up and over. So as we flow through mermaid here, you can just continue to move through your breath right here. Or you can add that lift of the legs just for a little bit more balance and stability work, a little more strength. We'll take a few more. Another option is to extend those legs long as we come to the side. But the main focus of this movement is really opening the side body, opening the rib cage. All this jazz with the legs is extra just to get into that core a little more. One more here. Coming back to center, swap the legs out. Right leg comes in front of the body, parallel to the mat. Take that inhale up. On exhale, right hand comes down, open the side body here. Find that line of energy and flow side to side. Yeah, stretch should feel good. If you like, come along with me, lift the hips as we come down to the side. Maybe add that extension of the legs, maybe not. Just finding some flow and grace as we open the side of the body, flowing side to side. One more. And back to center. Bottoms of the feet come to the earth. Place the fingertips behind the thighs. Curve through the spine, slowly rolling all the way down. And then walking the heels up toward the glutes. We'll do some bridging work here to work into the back side of the body, into the booty. Palms press down into the earth. All 10 finger pads press to stabilize. In fact, pressing so much that you feel those triceps start to activate. Take an inhale to reset the spine. On an exhale, press through the heels. Imprint the lower spine into the earth first, and then start to lift. So we're rolling up one vertebrae at a time. And as you come to the top, shoulders roll underneath the body. Maybe the heels walk a little closer to the glutes. Initial focus is on creating that space in the front side of the body. So hip bones and quads driving up toward the sky, really grounding down through the feet. That's the center of stability that's driving us up. Wide across the collarbones, tops of the shoulders are soft. Just starting with that lower and lift. Both hips lower. Exhale, press and lift. Now as we start to press up, we're going to recruit those muscles in the back side of the body, the glutes, the hamstrings, press to lift just a little higher. Maybe gazing down the body, noticing that long line from the hip bone to the knee as you press up. 2 more here and we'll add on. Pause at the top, press and hold. This time as we lower, we'll press up, and as we press up, heels are going to lift, coming to the balls of the feet. Heels release and hinge down, not coming all the way down, just hover. Hip bones press up, heels lift, coming to the toes. Heels release and lower just a couple of inches. Inhale, press up. Heels lift, heels release, and release. Keep flowing here. Hips lift, heels lift. Imagine that you've got that ball or something between the thighs. So even though the thighs aren't squeezing together, we still have that sensation of them pulling toward one another, as if there were little magnets on the inside of each knee. Let's flow here 2 more times. Keeping those hip bones lifted. As we start to fatigue a little bit, we get a little lazy. And we'll meet back up. Press both hip bones up. We're just going to walk it out here. So releasing one foot off the earth and tap down, and then the other. Doesn't matter which one you start with. So now as you alternate lifting one foot and the other, walking it out here in your bridge, noticing what happens with the hips. Trying to keep both hip bones level and stable the whole time. Sometimes as we lift one leg, the other hip bone wants to drop down. So continue driving the hip bones up toward the sky as we walk here. 1 more on each side. All right, reset, walk the heels closer to the glutes again. Extend the left toes long in front of the body, point the toes. It's a lower and a lift here. So lift and lower. Point the toes to lift, flex to lower. So now that right glute is really stepping up to stabilize. Both hip bones still lifting. Focusing as much on the length in the left leg and reaching through that leg as we are how high or low it pulses. So find that sweep. For 3, 2, and 1. Release the left leg. Set up here, press the hips up again, stabilize. Right toes reach forward. Feel that left glute take over. Flex the foot, lower, point and lift. So that right leg just sweeping up and down as if the toes are a paintbrush and you're painting that wall in front of you. Finding some grace and flow in the leg. And breathing, of course, have to breathe. Lift 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to ask you to hang with me. Release that right toe. We've got one more movement before we release it back down to the earth. This time we're going to walk the heels together. So heel toe the feet together, connect at the heels. Keeping the hip bones lifted, we're going to open the knees to the side, close and squeeze together. Open, squeeze and close. So as we squeeze the knees together, now those magnets connect, those inner thighs pulling in and squeezing. So now in addition to feeling that heat in the glutes, we're really feeling that in the inner thigh. Yes. So give yourself a little bit of extra strength here. Really press the palms into the earth. Lift up more out of the chest. Hold here, squeezing the knees together. Final movement. Lower the hips a couple of inches. Exhale, press the hip bones up. Open the knees. Squeeze the knees together. Inhale to lower. Exhale to press up. Open the knees. Squeeze and close. You've got it. You're right there. Looking good. Open and close. 3. Really find that squeeze. Squeeze the knees together. Don't cheat yourself out of that beautiful energy and heat that you're building. Keep flowing. 2. And 1. Now heel toe those feet back out to hip distance. We're going to take a slow roll down. I know you all want to plop down. We're going to go nice and slow. Starting at the top of the spine, reconnecting the vertebrae one at a time. Really squeezing those hip bones up toward the rib cage until the very end. Lumbar spine lands last. Finally, that sweet release. Take those knees side to side. Oh, yes. That was a little uncomfortable. Hopefully not too uncomfortable. Definitely built some heat there. Pull the knees to the chest. We'll take that rock and roll. Let's take a few rounds of rolling like a ball on our way this time. So let's all meet at the top and just reset here. Walk the toes toward the body. Find that balancing point on the sits bones. Tucking the chin to the chest. Round the spine as much as you can. Using that shape of the spine to inhale. Roll back. Exhale, come up to balance. So taking a couple of rounds through your rolling like a ball should feel like a nice massage for the spine. A nice contrast now to finally allow everything to curve forward. So just taking one more. And then as we come to the top, let's cross at the ankles, press the hips up, meet in forward fold. This is your first opportunity for a little heart rate boost to get your cardiovascular system warmed up. Totally optional, so choose what you'd like to do. Grounding down through the feet, slowly start to press up, roll all the way up. We're gonna start with those squat jacks. Whenever you're ready, join me here. Breathing, of course. So even though we're in motion here, let's bring some attention, some love to that spinal alignment. Spine is long. Each time you pull the arms down, shoulder blades are squeezing together. Hip bones dropping a little deeper into that squat each time. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1. All right, shake it out. Drop back down into that forward fold. Take a big circle sweep up. Exhale, drop down. This time we're gonna walk back, meeting on all fours here. Take a little movement. Sway the hips side to side. And then once you're stacked here, hips right above those knees, shoulders above the wrists, we'll start to roll through cat-cow. So using each exhale to really lift the spine, create space and flex, rounding the spine. Inhale, let the belly drop. Open and extend through the spine. Exhale to lift. So taking a couple more rounds through cat-cow with your breath. As you lift up into that cat spine, envision that spine bending, flexing, opening. As you inhale and the belly drops, focus on that heart opening as we extend the spine, tailbone reaching up to the sky. One more round through each. And we'll meet with that neutral spine. In neutral spine, our tailbone is reaching to the wall behind us, crown of the head reaching to the wall in front of us. So it's this beautiful long line. I could come around and sit a margarita or the beverage of choice on your back. and it would just balance there beautifully. So if you remember the shape of the spine and that feeling of connection when we did spinal balance on the earth, find that same line, try to connect, stay stable. As that left heel reaches back, right fingertips reach forward. Find that shape of the spine, lower rib cage squeezing in. Now rotate that inner elbow crease toward the midline of the body. Really reaching here, take an inhale, get as long as you can. On the exhale, round knee to elbow. Contrast, inhale, long flat spine. Exhale, curve the spine, lift to the sky. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Inhale to reach. We'll open 45-degree angle. So the fingertips point toward the corner, heel points toward the corner, and we're gonna pulse and lift up right here. So feeling the back side of the core work, feeling the shoulder, stay lifted. Of course, that belly button is always pulled into the spine in Pilates. Lift for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly close, come back to center. Right hand releases underneath the shoulder, left toe stay lifted nice and long. Point, flex that left foot. So before we start working through the hip and a little more glute work on this side, let's find that length in the leg. So find that big reach back. Really reach through the heel as if you're pulling that bone out of the hip socket. And now we'll tap the toes and lift. So squeezing the glute, really pressing through the heel. Gaze is down at the mat to keep that neck nice and long. Tap for 3, 2, and 1. Stay lifted here. We're making big circles. So bend that right leg, circle in toward the elbow, and press back through the heel. Find that long line each time you circle. Circle in, press back. So opening through the hip here. Feeling stability. It's just that rotation through the hip. Imagine that hip bone, the head of that femur just rotating in the socket. And then each time we come back, that big press. One more time this direction. Pause here. Now pull the knee toward the elbow, make that big circle out, press back and lengthen. Knee to elbow, big circle, press back. Knee in, big circle, and press. One more time, knee in, big circle, and press. Left knee comes down to hover, bend that left knee. Fire hydrant just opening to the side. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're gonna hold, pulse, and lift for 8, 7, 6. Feel that squeeze in the left side body. Use that energy in the core to lift. 2, and 1. Come down to the right elbow. Left palm stays planted. Now lift that knee a little bit higher, right up in line with the hip. We'll extend and kick the toes out. Sweep the leg back and bend the knee back to center to stack. Extend and kick through the toes. Make that big circle, sweep back, and knee comes back to the hip. Extend, flick the toes. Sweep back and bend in. 2 more. Flick, sweep, and bend. Flick, sweep, and bend. Hold right here. Flick out for 8, 7, 6. Shoulders are strong. If we gaze down, that right shoulder stacked right above the elbow. 2, and 1. Hold that leg long. Tap the toe and lift. Tap and lift for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold up. Sweep that leg back. Pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Release that knee for a moment. We'll lift up into plank, coming right into our first side plank. So right hand will come under the face as we roll to the pinky edge of the right foot. Open up here. Always an option for that right knee to stack underneath the hip for stability. Stair step the legs or stack the left on top of the right. So we'll move through a series here. Take your inhale, open the chest, reach the fingertips behind you. On the exhale, thread the needle. Left hip stays stacked on the right, just reaching through. Inhale up, open the chest. Exhale, thread under. Inhale to open. Exhale to thread. One more. Inhale and exhale. Hold right here. Let's bring the hand to the hip. Just little dips down. Dip and lift. Dip and lift. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay lifted here. Right side body really squeezing. Left fingertips reach up overhead. We're going to start to roll over the toes, pike the hips up, reach the right fingertips toward the left ankle, and then sweep back down. Right hip releases. Inhale, lift up and over. Right fingertips reach back. Sweep back around, find your full mermaid pose. Inhale, reach up and over. Right, left fingertips tap and over. One more. Inhale and exhale. And cartwheel that left arm. Release the knees. Inhale, drop, the belly gaze comes up. Exhale, lift. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Right back to that neutral spine, headed to the other side of the body. Remember that shape when we were lying on our back. Find that beautiful long spine as the right heel reaches back. Really reaching with energy, left fingertips reach forward. So taking a long inhale here to really find that space in the body, that length. On the exhale, knee to elbow around the spine. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, crunch. One more, inhale. And exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach forward. Open 45 degrees to the corners of the room. Find that long line, pause and hold. And we'll pulse up here. Squeezing the glutes. Squeezing the deltoids. Everything on the upper side, upper back is active. Squeeze, lift. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze back to center. Left hand underneath the shoulder. Keep that right foot extended. Let's point flex. So again, we're going to find that length in the leg, find that full extension before we start to play around and move. So really reach through the heel. Let's point the toe, tap down and lift. Tap and lift. As the leg lifts up, we're not extending the spine and doing this. We're just lifting up to hip level, super controlled. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really lengthen the leg. We'll start that circle. Bend the right knee, come toward the elbow. Sweep all the way around to lengthen. Bend in and crunch. Side body squeezed. Reach back to lengthen. Bend in and extend. And bend and extend. 2 more this direction. Make that big circle. Head of the bone rotating in the socket. Pause here, reach through the toes. Bend the knee to the elbow. Make that big circle, press back and lengthen. Bend the knee in and squeeze. Circle, extend. Bend in, circle, extend. Last one. And knee comes down to hover. That right knee hovers. Fire hydrant, just lift that knee up toward the opposite elbow, or shoulder, same elbow, I'm sorry. Switch sides. Lift for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here and pulse. Pulse. Squeeze for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left forearm comes down to the earth, underneath the face. Bring that leg up to the side of the body. We'll extend and flick through the toes. Sweep the leg back up to that diagonal and pull the knee back toward the hip. Extend and flick through the toes. Sweep the leg up to a diagonal and pull back in. Extend and reach. Sweep and pull. Extend. Sweep and pull. Really focusing on that stability in the left hip. Trying to have as little motion in that left hip as you can. This is our last one. And come in right here. Flick the toes forward and bend. And forward and bend. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Side body is lifted up and away from the earth. And 1, extend the toes long, tap and lift, tap and lift. Just 6. Really working through that hip, feel that strength. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big sweep leg comes up to the diagonal, pulse and lift. Point through the toe. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Right away, push up into that plank. Roll to the pinky edge of the left foot. Left hand comes under the face. Find your side plank. Releasing the knee if you like. Stacking the ankles or stair step. We'll take that inhale, open the heart, reach the fingertips to the wall behind you. Exhale, right hip stays stacked. Thread the needle here. Inhale to open. Exhale, thread. Each time you thread underneath, think about lifting that left side body up and away from the earth, even a little more. Last one. Right hand comes to the hip dips here. 8, 7, just lowering that left hip toward the earth and then pulling, contracting the left side of the body to come right back up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. We'll take that pike, come rolling over the toes. Right hand reaches underneath toward the left ankle and sweep back up. Left hip lowers, mermaid. Inhale, circle the arm, lift the hips, reach back, and mermaid. 2 more. Last one. Come back to your plank. Pause and hold here. We've just got one short set of push-ups. Either stay lifted or release the knees. Elbows hug in tight to the body. Inhale to lower, press up. For 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Curl the toes, lift the hips, tuck the chin, down dog. Walking it out here. And we'll come up to a standing position for our next little cardio option. If you're not interested in following along with the cardio option, you can fall into child's pose wherever you would like. Otherwise, bend the knees, bend the elbows. Hop, step, or jump. Find your forward fold. Ground through the toes. Slowly roll all the way up. This time we're going to take burpees. A lot of different ways that you can practice burpees. Hands come down. We can step in, out. Take that hop. We can jump. You choose. Start flowing if you're going there. We'll be here for just 30 seconds. Just long enough to get that heart rate up. Yeah. Keep going here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Meet down in that forward fold. If you are in child's pose, start to work your way up to a seated position at the top of the mat. If you're in your forward fold here, just start to lower the hips toward the heels, finding that seat at the top of the mat. Great spot to grab a quick drink of water. We'll come back into some core work. Okay, hope everybody's doing well on the downhill slide here. So we're going to start with a little bit more controlled work through the hips. Also definitely uses the core muscles. As we extend the legs long, we'll bring the feet about hip distance apart, maybe even a little closer. Take that inhale to sweep up, and we'll start to hinge forward at the hips. So we've got this nice long spine right now from the tailbone to the crown. We're going to maintain that shape of the spine, start to hinge forward. And then when you can't hinge anymore without collapsing through the spine, we'll release the fingertips down to the earth. We're going to make this TP shape. So all 10 fingertips are pressed in. Now, before we bring any lower body action in, let's roll the shoulder blades back to squeeze, open the heart, feel the core engage. And as you shift forward even more, pressing the sits bones, feel that stretch in the hamstrings, in the glutes. Pressing all 10 fingertips into the earth. We'll start with a lift. Left heel is going to lift up off the mat. For 8, 7, it's a teeny tiny lift. 5, 4, pull the belly button to spine to stabilize. And 1, right heel lifts. 8, 7, Pull the heart up and through. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to left. Lift 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And right, really pull that belly in to stabilize right here. Just working in a different plane, but really targeting those muscles, also strengthening through the hip. Left heel lifts, 3, 2, and 1. Right heel, 3, 2, and 1. Alternate side to side. Or if you'd like to give it a go, really press through the fingers, lift both heels, release, lift, release. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release down. Let's take that forward fold, shake it out. We'll come back to a movement that we did at the beginning of our practice when we were in a supine position on our back. So scooch the bum forward a little bit. Find that bend in the legs. We're going to take the hands on top of that left thigh. Now we'll start to bring some curve into the spine. So starting to tuck the chin to the chest, roll back, find that C shape in the spine. Pause and hold here. So we're kind of balanced on the fleshy part of the bum. Everything squeezed in, rib cage squeezed together, especially that lower part of the rib cage. We're going to lift that left leg up off the earth. Leave the right one alone for now. Just start pulling that left knee in toward the chest, resisting with the hands. So each time that left thigh pulses in toward the chest, we're pushing right back. That knee is coming in and we're saying, oh, heck no, go back. Resist here. Option to stay right here, continuing to pulse or extend the right leg long. Pulse, 4, 3, 2, 1. Static hold. Press, press. Reach through those extended toes if you're extended. Pull that left thigh toward the body for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release down. Left leg stays bent. This time we're going to take the hands to the outside of that left thigh. Press in. So as we press the hands into the outside of the thigh, push that thigh out. Now we feel the side body activating. That right heel is just going to step out to the side and in. Heel taps out and in. So working more through the obliques, lateral abdominals here, feeling that energy in the part of the core that wraps all the way around the body. Tap out. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Reset here. Bringing the hands to the top of that right thigh. Go ahead and pull it toward the chest. Just pull in to start. Start to pulse in. So again, each time that thigh comes toward the chest, we're pushing it right back away. Staying right here or extending that left leg long. Find that curve in the spine. Keep pressing and resisting. 5, 4, 3, 2. We've got that static hold. Really pull in. Opposition, pulling in, pressing out. Squeeze the belly. Tighten that corset for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release forward. Hands come to the outside of the right thigh here. Let's go ahead and bend both legs. So before we do anything, we'll start to press into the outside. We're stabilizing through the hip and pressing the outside of that right thigh away, pushing in at the same time. Feel that activation. And we'll start that step out. Right heel taps out and in and out and in. Really press. You control the work here. You control how much resistance you're giving your own body. Yes. Tap out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Sweep the arms behind the body. Fingertips point toward the bum. Ground down through the feet, hip distance apart. Take an inhale. On an exhale, hip bones press up to reverse tabletop. We've got tricep dips here. So just bending the elbows, that's it. Bend the elbows, exhale, press up. Bend and press. Yes. Try to see if you can allow the elbows to continue to point behind you. So squeezing the elbows toward one another. Again, those imaginary magnets on the inside of each elbow. Hip bones press up. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Little pulses here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release everything down. All right, moving right on to teaser. So the starting and ending position of teaser, the way we'll practice today, is essentially boat pose or navasana. So again, we're gonna kind of walk the feet toward the body, balancing on the hip bones just like we did for rolling like a ball. This time we're gonna keep the spine nice and straight. So shoulder blades squeeze back, tops of the shoulders are soft, heart shining through, and then extending the legs up into tabletop. So it's a hinge back, feeling super, super supported by the core. We'll reach the fingertips forward. You could hold here in Navasana and not even flow in teaser, but give it a go if you like. As we start to come back, we'll allow that curve to come into the spine, curve slowly down. Try to keep the shape of the legs the same. Squeeze the knees, inhale up and over. Exhale, butterfly the arms around to side, come right back up to your teaser. Inhale, curve the spine, roll back. Reach up overhead, butterfly the arms, sweep all the way back up, lift the heart, lengthen the spine. Start to curve and reach back. Inhale up and over, and lift back up. Option to stay right there for these last couple. If you'd like to lengthen the legs, go for it. Sweep back. 2 more. Yeah. And sweep up. Slowly lower all the way down. Lengthen the legs above the hips. Interlace the fingertips at the base of the skull. Press through the heels, toes pulled toward the face. Lower down, point the toes, sweep, lift up. So option to leave the shoulder blades down or add a little more intensity by tucking the chin to the chest, release and lift up. Inhale, lower, point the toes, sweep up. So as we go through this movement, lower back stays imprinted the whole time. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees to the chest. Roll like a ball all the way to the top of the mat. Cross at the ankles, lift up through the hips. And grounding down through the feet, take that slow, controlled roll up, stacking the vertebrae one at a time. And rolling the shoulders back. We're gonna do a little bit of standing leg work here that will help us with our balance also. So on or off your mat, step to a wide V position. Focus on the length of the spine as we sink down, we're sliding down that wall. So outer edges of the knees are now pulling away from the body. Let's just bring the hands to heart center and just pulse here. So it's as if we've got that rod from the crown of the head through the tailbone, nice and long here. We're going to add a curtsy squat behind the body. So stay low here. We'll take that left leg, curtsy right behind, come back to your wide V. Curtsy and wide V. So we make this more difficult and dig into those legs a little bit more by staying low as we flow from one movement to the next. For 4, 3, palms press, activate the muscles in the chest. And we'll step back and hold in that curtsy position right here. We'll lift the arms and back, and lift and back, and lift. So option to stay right here, just sweeping, or add that lift of the back leg. A little balance work here. Your choice for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold. Arms are gonna sweep together at the outside of that right knee. So sweep down, tap the earth or get close. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sweep. So legs stay low, just adding a little spinal rotation here. Core stability. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that big step back to your wide V. Lift the heels, this time pulse right here. Reestablish that line of energy through the spine. Slide down that wall. Heels lift and lower. So hips are still. Lift and lower, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, and 1. Squat on the other side. Take that curtsy squat behind the body and open V. curtsy squat, and open. Again, we stay lower if we want a little more intensity. If you'd like a little bit more of a break, straighten the legs in between, little active recovery mixed in. For 3, here's Gracie. She's probably been behind me on my mat the whole time. And 1, we'll hold right here. Lift the arms and lower, and lift and lower. So just lifting and lowering in that squat. You can stay right here or add that back leg lift, reaching through the toes behind the body. Squeezing the glutes. Lift for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step back to the mat if you stepped off. Take a big inhale, circle sweep up. Exhale, open the heart, lift through the chest, take a little mini back bend here. Inhale to reach up. And exhale, bend the knees, slowly swan dive all the way down. Walking the hands forward. And lift the hips up, down, down. We'll take a little stretch here. Left toes come to the sky. And then sweep that left knee to the left wrist, coming into your pigeon. If this version of pigeon is not comfortable for you, you always have the option of lying on your back, crossing the left ankle over the top of the right knee. Same stretch, just a different version. And just giving yourself some freedom to move a little bit as we come down in. And time went really, really fast. I had all kinds of fun things planned for us, and I'm sure you're all very sad that we've run out of time. Or maybe not so sad, I don't know. So let's find some stillness here in our pigeon, softening the muscles in the back of the neck. Maybe coming all the way down, bringing the forehead to the hands, the earth. And just finding some sweet surrender in this big hip stretch. One more breath here. And gently placing the hands back underneath the shoulders, pressing back up. Curl the back toes, lift the knee, sweeping back up, down dog. When you're ready, right toes sweep up, or whichever leg you didn't do the first time. Pull that knee toward the same wrist. Walk the back leg back. Take a moment here, find some motion. And then slowly start to walk down, sinking into your pigeon. Back of the neck becomes soft, head hangs heavy. Maybe finding something to ground down with your forehead so you can completely soften and surrender. It can be the hands, the mat, maybe a block. And really resisting that urge to allow your mind to go elsewhere. Give yourself this last couple of minutes. Let the work sink in. Feeling the space that you've created in your body. Space for that breath to flow more freely. And we'll start to walk the hands up. And just drop down to the hips, sweeping the legs in front of the body. One final slow and controlled roll all the way down. Tucking the chin to the chest, really find that C shape in the spine. And when you arrive to the earth, take one big full body stretch. Fingertips reaching up overhead, toes reaching long. The longest, biggest stretch of the day yet. And then soften the hands down to the sides of the body. Palms land open. Returning to the place we started our practice today. Returning to this place with a renewed sense of energy, strength, will. And just scanning your own body. Where are you still hanging on to tension, to stress, to old stale energy that's no longer serving you? That's where you deliver the breath, right here, right now. Maybe that space where we hang on to things is in our head. That's okay. We can lift and breathe into that space. Feeling that contrast of sensation in the body, that sense of heaviness and groundedness through the hips, the feet, the shoulders. Feeling so supported and safe by our earth. At the same time, feeling that sense of lightness and lift. The chest lifting up toward the sky, the softness of the belly. Taking one more breath here. Just a natural, easy breath. And at the bottom of the exhale, turning up the corners of the mouth, finding a little smile. And when you're ready, roll to one side of the body or the other, pulling the knees to the chest, gently pressing back up to a seated position, closing the eyes. Letting the tops of the hands rest on the tops of the knees, palms open to receive energy. While resting the palms on the tops of the knees, if you'd like more of a sensation of grounding here. Honoring your body, your mind, your spirit, by allowing that breath to flow freely, by inviting that new and fresh energy, not just on your mat, but as we go throughout our day. Whatever we may face in front of us, whatever information, whatever energy we encounter from others, using our breath, that inner strength and sense of groundedness. Bringing hands to heart center as we bow our heads. The strength, joy, and grace in each of you is also within me. Let us honor one another. Namaste. I'll unmute you here in a moment.